Hi there, my name is Evelyn Weiss. My online business did over 6 million in revenue, and at its core, it has a portfolio of low ticket paid communities and memberships. Together, these generate around $215,000 every month in monthly recurring revenue. And in this video, I want to answer a question that I get very frequently from my members, and that's how do I price my community or my membership? When I started my membership business, I actually started with a founding members price and I did a premium membership first. So it was a $97 per month, very hands on VIP. We're doing your ads together kind of situation. So I did a founding members launch into this membership. I got my first 10 members and I started to work with them. I soon realized that $97 towards cold traffic was really hard to achieve, and that people who bought because they believed in me. I had worked with the majority of them before. The ones I haven't had worked with, they have experienced me serving in a free Facebook group. So they already kind of trusted my expertise and my guidance. I believed, because I wanted to grow my communities with paid ads, cold traffic directly, that I will need to have a little bit of a lower entry point to eventually be able to convert people into my membership. So I tested a lower price point at $27. And after quite a few fails, I eventually could make a funnel directly into this membership work. So back then it was a video sales letter funnel that had a strategic freebie at the beginning. People would opt in for the freebie, and then I would have a video sales letter that would sell people into the $27 membership. I was able to grow within a month to 100 members, and then I increased my price to $49 because people were like, what? This is way too good for what we're getting here. And I specifically had one mentor who was like, you're way too cheap. If people pay $27, they will also pay $29. And instead of running it as a test in my funnel, I communicated with, a bold chest that it will never be 27 again. I did a closing launch, right, on the price. And so I had people coming in at 27, went up in the members count, and then I increased the price to 49 and my funnel broke. So I was stuck at 100 members for about 8 months until I found another funnel that worked. And so I experimented with different things in the meantime. And one funnel that was quite promising was a self-liquidating offer funnel that was then leading into the membership. So basically, I sold a tangible digital product from my membership at the front end, back then again for $27. And then on the back end, I would let people know, hey, you just bought this, but you get this for free in my membership. So upgrade to my membership and I'm refunding you the purchase. That was working well, but it was also causing confusion, right? So it was not really smooth in the funnel, and it would also cause like high refund rates. So eventually that funnel was kind of stabilizing me, but my membership also didn't grow. It wasn't until I took a course with Stu McLaren, who is an amazing membership expert, that I learned about the power of the closed membership model. My hypothesis up until this point was that my membership should be always open, because only when my membership is always open, people would join, right? So I was kind of comparing it to when somebody is hungry and the restaurant that they actually want to go to is closed, they'll still eat at McDonald's because they're hungry, right? So I was like, when somebody has the need that they want help with their Facebook ads, if my membership is not open at that time, they will basically go to a competition. That was actually really a scarcity mindset. And it wasn't until I saw the results from Stu's course, where he compared the results from when he had the membership always open and he was working with promotions versus when he had a closed model with a waiting list, that I changed my mind. And I was like, I really, like, based on these numbers, I have to close my membership. So I did a closing launch with a challenge and was a very successful launch. And then I had my membership closed. Now I was having it closed and I was like, oof, this also feels like really scary to not have members coming in and just having, them churning away until I eventually have the next launch. So I could already feel the scarcity and the desperation building up to, will I be able to then make the next launch as successful? Right now, I need to focus on building up my audience in between, now and the next launch. And I just could feel like it's not a good place for me to be. I also, in the time between, had sold a $7 offer quite successfully, but I didn't connect just yet selling from the $7 offer into the otherwise closed membership. At that point, I was like, I have this like $7 offer that works really well. And I love that like daily conversion. What if it's sold into a backdoor of the membership? And I also had like a bigger problem in my membership that quite a few of the people that were coming in because they wanted to run ads actually were not ready to run ads at all. They were lacking the foundations of having a clear positioning, having a well-crafted offer, having the foundations of their personal brand and positioning nailed. So I was like, what if I had a membership that was more beginner friendly, where I could get people to a point where they are ready to run ads and just have that as a front end offer for $7 because I saw the higher conversion rate below the $10 price point. And if I would price it at $7, I also would have room to again pull something from the membership, right, which has worked well in that setting of I'm giving you a refund, but basically give people the option to choose, right? So you can get this for $9, right? Price point below $10, or for free in my membership. And both paths upgrade into the otherwise closed membership, right? So I would just basically unlock a backdoor for them as a thank you for just having purchased. And that was working extremely well. So I would have a conversion rate of 10 to 12% on the front end on the membership, or the option offer for those funnels that I did as option offers, but I would also run ads directly to the mini membership for $7. Then I would have order bump take rate anywhere between 30 to 40%. My order bump, if I would just have one, this is this additional thing in the checkout that you can buy, was priced at 37. When I have two bumps, it would be 27 and 17. Then I would typically have a 30% take rate on the first and a 20% take rate on the second. And then there was the one-click upsell into the otherwise closed membership that would convert in really bad times around 10% and in the best times around 22%. And so that was crazily profitable for me. And the membership price there was $49. So I didn't increase from there, but I did try to increase it. This time I was already smarter, so I didn't communicate a big price increase before I had tested it. And so I basically tried different price points on the back end of that funnel, and I found that 49 is by far the most profitable one. That was true for my funnel, right? And so when members had asked me up until this point, what funnel pricing do you recommend? These were the price points that, based on the funnel testing, I had validated, and where I said, start with that as the first hypothesis, and then we can always play around with the price point on the one-click upsell. The $7 entry point was pretty validated, not only from my membership, but also from all the other mini memberships and also from all the other self-liquidating offers that I have helped people with. So that was in a funnel setting. But then Skool came around, right? So Skool is a membership platform, and it really has been around for a few years, but it was only in the end of 2023 that they started to allow to take payments through Skool. And then in the beginning of 2024, Alex Ramosi officially invested in Skool. They started the Skool games, and the platform really took off. Now, something interesting happened when that happened. So Skool has, for those of you that are running Facebook ads, you know how important this is. Skool has a direct integration with Facebook's conversion API. So instead of what many people are doing in a funnel, where they install the pixel and the conversion tracking server side, browser side, Skool has its server side. And what I noticed from running book a call ads for myself and for clients is that Facebook knows who is converting on a certain domain, right? So for example, when we're trying to get calls booked, I have a video about this, how I'm running a book a call funnel. It's better to not use the standard optimization event of Facebook that is scheduled or complete registration, but to actually use the custom conversion from Calendly that's invitee meeting scheduled, because Facebook knows what a Calendly call booker look like, and it's more distinct than the scheduled event. So we typically get better calls booked for a lower cost when we're optimizing for this event. And my personal hypothesis, right, this is just my opinion, I cannot prove this, but I've seen it, is that Facebook knows, based on the domain and the global conversion API integration, what a Skool buyer looks like. Because when I was starting to run ads directly to Skool, I was surprised, because I have tried to run ads to memberships directly many times, and I even have a membership at $27 where I'm running ads directly. At $27 to make them work directly is hard. You have to have a really, really great product to market fit. To 49 is extremely hard. To 99 is almost unheard of, unless you have some sort of deadline funnel or other urgency offer. To Skool, it was surprisingly easy to convert directly to a $49 community, even though we didn't have an elaborate funnel with order bumps with one-click upsells and just a very simple about page with typically lower conversion rates, right? But it was still possible to directly run the ads, not only for my community, but for many other communities as well. And my hypothesis is because Facebook knows what a Skool community buyer looks like. Also, on average, people buy more than one community. So when somebody has a profile, somebody's active on the platform, the checkout process for them is super seamless. And so when I then ventured into Skool, I actually started to adapt a different pricing model. And so this is what I would recommend if you're having an always open membership. May that be hosted on Skool or not, but just know that on Skool, the conversion rates with direct ads, for some reason, it just clicks more. And my hypothesis is because it's connected to the domain, and because if somebody already has a Skool membership, it's very easy for them to check out and to understand how it works. So when we have a membership, often we have the challenge that we need to explain to cold traffic, like, what is this? In a Skool, people kind of know how a Skool works. So the product is already in itself easier to explain because somebody who is in one Skool community gets the concept, so they get also what another paid community might look like. So the friction is lower and we don't have to do so much explaining to do on the ad and on the sales page. So when you're having an always open membership or a Skool community, a paid Skool community, here's the pricing strategy that I would recommend for you. You start with your initial pricing strategy with a founding members rate. So you would want to start with a low price below $10. We make buying decisions from a different part of our brain. There's not as much logical decision making involved. If we have below $10, it's more of an impulse purchase. So you'd really want to give yourself that momentum at the beginning. My recommendation is, if you're off Skool, start with $7. If you're on Skool, we actually have seen $5 working the best. Again, I don't have statistically relevant data. I can just tell you what has worked from the members that I'm having in my membership. We're over 2,000 members, right? Not all of them are having always open communities, but I'm seeing quite a bit, and $5 seems to be a really good starting point. This low price helps you to gain the first members relatively quickly and to gain purchase data relatively quickly. And if you're running Facebook ads, right, you know this, that purchase data is everything. Once we have the first few purchases, Facebook will have such an easier time to find you more buyers like that. You can even go as far as combine the $5 with a free trial for a limited time as a founding members rate, just to get those initial sales registered by the conversion API and fed back to Facebook so it knows more what a customer of yours look like. Okay, so this is to build momentum from a data side, but it's also to build momentum from a membership community side. A community becomes more valuable over time, not only because there's more content added, but because there's more people and because people have more relationship with each other. So there's a culture and an ecosystem evolving, right? So the sooner you have, the more members, the quicker you can get to this point and the community can actually become valuable beyond the idea. This is also why you want to have a lower founding members rate. Now, I do have, because Skool is grandfathering people in, I do have people asking me, isn't this unfair, right? So people who join like really early, they can get something for $8 that later on is $99 a month. And I personally don't think that that's unfair, because these people believed in you and your vision and the community early on, right? When you had not much to show but the idea and maybe a minimum viable version of the content that you eventually want to present. So I think it's good to reward them for building up the space with you. Also think about it that as your price increases when members are grandfathered in at a lower price, it helps to reduce the churn. Right? So the churn in my Skool community currently is 5%. That's the lowest churn I ever had across the memberships I'm hosting on Stripe. I am between 10 to 12%. So, that's half the churn rate basically. And the grandfathering in, and of course other mechanisms like the annual pricing, they really play into this. So it's not unfair that somebody is getting a lower price. These are the members that will build the thing with you, so you want to honor that, and it's good for them, it's good for you. And also the members that are coming in later, they're benefiting from all the work that you and those early members have done together to turn the community or paid membership into the place that it will eventually be. Your next stage after the founding members price is your price increase launches. So this is something you would want to do on a monthly basis. I basically started to increase the price on a monthly basis till I found my sweet spot with the following method. Once you gained your initial momentum and your members start to see results, and you start to have that positive word of mouth and buzz, you want to consider price increase launches. So a price increase launch involves informing people that the community price will go up, and then members who join before the price increase, they have an incentive to stay because they're grandfathered in. So what did this look like in practice? I was moving in significant chunks. And so a significant chunk is, for example, $10 chunks. You start with $5, 15, 25. From 25, I would go to 33, 37, and then to 47 or 49, and then you go up from there. So what you would want to be mindful of is that there's often a breaking point for conversions around $50 for cold traffic directly. I also saw this in my conversion rate. Again, when I started to increase the price of my school, I saw when I was doing from 49 to 59 a significant decrease in the conversion rate. And so that has often been true. So you just want to be mindful that you want to test it, but it could happen. Okay, so now how do you operationally do that? I would recommend you do a post on your Facebook page about the price increasing for your community, and you then run ads to that post. Now, when we are using a page post that we then later pick up through the post ID with an ad that needs to be a sales campaign optimizing for purchase, what we can do is we run the ad, right? We let people know, join before price will increase. And once the price increases, we turn off this ad. We take screenshots or a video of the results. Then we delete this ad. And then what we can do is we can go back and we can edit the ad to reflect the new price. And then we can do it in the next month again with that ad that has already often built up social proof from your members. So one thing that I do recommend is to ask your members in your community, send them the link to this Facebook post and say, hey, you would really help me out if you leave an honest feedback about your experience in this membership under this Facebook post. This is not about manufacturing anything. It is about asking the people you have helped, if you're satisfied with the membership experience, I'd love if you could share your experience honestly under this post. And a few members will do. And what basically happens, even if you have just one comment, it will create this positive flywheel of your other members seeing the ad because they are pixelated because they have been on your membership, right? And you have the conversion tracking set up. And then more members will leave their comments. And it starts to be this flywheel of positive comments. And often what then happens is that not the ad itself is selling the membership, but the positive members' feedback. And so you can repeat this process every single month until you have found your sweet spot for the pricing. Now, what you also need to know is that when you're doing these monthly price increase launches, you always want to have 14-day cool off, 14-day heat up phase. So you would want to communicate the upcoming price increase via social media, your email list, and via those paid ads, right? Social media, you make the post, you pick it up with paid ads, but you also, of course, email your list that the price will go up. In an ideal world, you want to combine the closing launch with a free trial offer to supercharge the conversion strategy. You would want to run a 5 to 7 day campaign with multiple reminders, right? So the price goes up in 24 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours. And then you start running the ads for the price increase 14 days before it increases, right? So you have that post on your page. Then you would want to say, okay, I've deleted the old ads. I'm editing to the new price. Now, 14 days before the price actually goes up, I start to run the ads again. And then you can combine that ad and can even say, okay, the price increases and we want to make the decision as easy as possible. So we're also combining it with a free trial. That also works really, really well. Okay. And then again, you shut it off after the price increase. And then in the next month, 14 days prior to the next price increase, you again start to pick up the ad and run the closing launch. The reason why we don't want to run it throughout the whole month is just because 30 days out, etc., it just feels too long and there's no real urgency. So the ads will not be as effective as when you pick them up later. So it's better to condense your budget and condense the time frame towards the price increase. Okay, now the next point is to really use annual offers. They're absolutely the best. They also have impacted my churn rate so positively. So what you want to do here is each new price point is an opportunity to craft a very attractive annual offer. So what you want to do is you want to give at least 30% discount on the annual. That works best. With a 30% discount on the annual, I'm typically getting about 18% of people taking the annual right away. That helps with ad spend and breaking even quicker a lot. And then you would also want to consider adding special perks. Those people of you that are choosing the annual and doing so within the next 7 days, they are also getting a special course, maybe a one-to-one session with you, right? So you would want to think of a really attractive perk that people can get when they're upgrading to annual quickly, typically within 7 days after they signed up. Now, pricing communication. This is an important thing. You don't want to corner yourself. Every price increase, not like I did in the beginning with my membership, it will never be available for this price again. Every price increase you need to communicate as an experiment. You would want to let people know, I am trying to find the sweet spot for my community, so I will increase the price, and I can't promise that I will lower it again, because if conversion rates are good at this price, it will stay at this price. I just want to tell you upfront that if you've been considering, now is a good time to join, because I don't know if it will go back down, right? So you can just be transparent about that. Allows you to be flexible, right, in the communication. So don't make like hard ultimatums, etc. More be like, I just want to let you know that I'm experimenting with this. I'm upping it. It might not come down again, because that's also the truth, right? Because just like I had overshot the price, which is normal, I had to eventually correct it down. And what do you do then with the people who did sign up at the higher price? You can just contact them and you can let them know, hey, I have to reduce the price down again. You can cancel and rejoin at the now fixed rate that we will have for the foreseeable future. The ultimate step is you need to push until you overshoot. Only then will you know that you have found the sweet spot for your pricing. And then when you have overshot, just communicate to those few people who did buy it at the higher price that you lower it and that they can rejoin. And then, you're good. And then you have found your sweet spot for the pricing. So I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any other questions around memberships, you can drop them below. I'm always looking for video ideas and I would love to hear from you. See you in another one. Bye.